Hello, this part 2 topic is describe a car journey you have been on. You should say where you went, what you did when you got there, why you went there, and explain why you went on that journey by car. Most of my outings are done by car, so I could have chosen from a long list of trips. However, there is one particular journey that I would like to talk about, and it was memorable because it was long and arduous. But my family and I had a remarkable experience when we reached our destination. We went by car, as I am not a fan of public transport. I can't stand being controlled by timetables and love the freedom of coming and going when I please. The journey in question was from Orlando to Clearwater Bay when I was holidaying in America last year. We were staying in Orlando but had planned to go to Clearwater as it is famous for the wild dolphins that swim in the Bay Area. My cousin had told me that the journey would take roughly 2 hours by car, so we set off at 8 a.m. planning to arrive at around 10 a.m. Then we would be able to have some brunch before going on the boat to spot dolphins. Well, that was the plan, but things never go to plan, do they? About an hour into the journey, we suddenly hit traffic congestion. Annoyingly, the traffic had come to a standstill. I tried to be optimistic and said it's probably only roadworks and we would be on our way soon. 5 hours later, we finally arrived at our destination. 3 hours later than planned. Grumpy, fed up and starving, we had a quick bite to eat and then bought tickets for the boat trip. We were all in a bad mood and nobody was talking. About 5 minutes into the boat trip, there was suddenly a gasp and a shout of, "Look!" We looked over the side of the boat and saw the most incredible sight. A pod of dolphins jumping in and out of the water. Instantly the grumpiness and tiredness that we were all feeling because of that horrendously long journey disappeared. And we were delighted that we had seen these amazing creatures in their natural habitat. Okay, so let's take a look at the language in this answer. It's about a journey, a trip. Another way of saying a journey or a trip is an outing. And I'm saying most of my outings are done by car, so I'm using much more complex grammar by using the passive. I could have chosen, you could use this for other topics. There were lots of things I could have chosen to talk about, and you've got a modal passive there. One particular journey, so just specifying this journey and making it more complex. It was memorable. You remember it for a long time. Arduous. It was very, very difficult. A great word to describe something that's difficult and tiring and very hard to do. It's arduous. A remarkable experience, a great experience. And for topics where you're talking about arriving somewhere, you can use the collocation to reach your destination. I'm not a fan of, I don't like. I can't stand being. Can't stand plus verb plus ing means I hate. And I love the freedom of coming and going when I please. Coming and going when you please means kind of arriving and leaving whenever you want. It's a great collocation. The journey in question, it's like the journey I am talking about. I've used this in other videos, the use of holiday as a verb, and it allows you to use it in the past continuous. I was holidaying there. We were staying, again past continuous. Had planned, so something that I'd already planned in advance. Wild dolphins, so not dolphins in captivity like at SeaWorld, but the wild dolphins in the wild. Roughly, about, around, about, so showing that you have a large vocabulary. Brunch, it's a good word. It means the time between breakfast and lunch, and when you combine the two, we call it brunch. Traffic congestion, another way of saying a traffic jam. The traffic had come to a standstill. It means the traffic had stopped, and this is a great collocation. Optimistic, very good word for talking about people. If you're being positive, the opposite is pessimistic when you're being negative. Roadworks are when the people are working on the road, so there are traffic lights and it slows you down. Grumpy, fed up and starving. Great for describing this topic. Grumpy, you're angry, you're in a bad mood, you're fed up, you're sick of it, and you're starving, you're hungry. Grumpy, fed up and starving. A quick bite to eat, very useful collocation for other topics, and it just means like a snack. We were all in a bad mood. You can be in a good mood, in a bad mood. So if you're in a bad mood, you're grumpy. A gasp is when you go, "Huh!" because you're shocked or surprised by something, and there is a noun, agasp, or to gasp is the verb. A pod of dolphins, it is the collective noun to describe a group of dolphins, a pod of dolphins. Instantly, it's like at that moment, immediately. Grumpiness, when you're in a bad mood, you're grumpy, and the noun is grumpiness. Horrendously long, really, really long. Delighted, you're happy. These amazing creatures, I'm referring back to the dolphins. And natural habitat is where the dolphins live when they're in the wild. Thanks for watching.